Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another Raid Chat Legends video with numbers. Alright, so the fusion is live at the moment, as you can see, Frolny, jeez, Tholen, Foulbeard. um, yeah, so some interesting things. If you are currently probably processing, you've done the Spider tournament, I hope, claimed the champ, done Classic Arena, easy champ training. All three of these should be easy enough for you to do, just general tournaments. Next we got Ice Golem coming up tomorrow. That's what we're talking about today. Right. So I do have a spider um guide per se linked in my channel. I will link it down in this video, so just watch out for that. Some good spider tips over there. Today what we want to talk about is Ice Golem though. Um So we're not going to talk about hard mode Ice Golem. As you can see, I've progressed a little bit in here as well. But we're going to talk about normal Ice Golem stages, right? I'm sure this is where most people are at in the mid game, in the early game stages. Now, I'm sure you have a lot of questions like, why are you talking about Ice Golem? Well, it's the next step for the fusion, for one, and it's a good way to farm curse sets and provoke sets, which are going to be really important for certain champs. If you're going into faction wars hard mode, you might need to apply hex debuffs, or you might need to provoke some champs, right? So these two sets are going to be really important if you don't have champs that do those kind of things. Now I know we're talking hard mode, faction wars a little bit here, but in general, provoke sets help for faction wars. Curse sets important for Hydra if you don't have a curse champ or hex champ. Sorry. So two really important sets that you need to grind out. The rest of them aren't that important at all. Yeah, it's mainly just cursed and provoke that you want to be focusing on. So, what stages should we be grinding? Well, that's easy enough to answer. So everybody should be able to make it to stage 12, right? Once you get to stage 12, you're pretty much in a solid position to grind out good 4 to 5 star gear, right? Stage 13 is 4 to 6 star. So, I mean, if you can do 13, great. Grind 13 because it's still 14 energy compared to stage 12. Stage 12 is just easy because it's a void stage. So you want to get to this 4 to 6 star as quick as possible, which is stage 13. As a new player, as a seasoned player, more seasoned player, you'd want to, sorry about that. As I was saying, as a more seasoned player, um, you'd much rather farm stage 20, right? Still 16 energy, but it's 5 to 6 star gear. Um, it's Spirit Affinity, and right now, Magic champs are at the peak of their powers. So, if you have someone like, I'm actually just going in and show you. Let's clear the setup. But if you have someone like a ninja, Alice can also be really helpful. Um, they can do a lot. Um, what else? Phoenix is good for the block revive. You can use, you could still use Kale here to a certain extent because poisons do really well in this dungeon. Free champ that you could use, Dark Elhane, really good in this dungeon. Who else do we have? There we go. Let's do that. Mordecai is useful for HP burns. Actually need to change his blessing. I select priest, can solo this. You can use I'm trying to think. Free champs, free champs. Yeah. Alice, number one. Ninja, very usable in this dungeon. Syl for revives. Um, I select priest if you have him for poisons, and Dark Elhain because whenever she gets frozen with this passive, she removes it, replaces increased crit rate and increased crit damage and strengthen. So you know she pretty much goes OP, and then she instantly activates this Death Majesty skill. Right, so when this is activated, I never noticed they have levels. Is that new? I think that's new. Let me just see something. Oh yeah, that's definitely new. Interesting. All right. Well, anyway, so she activates her AoE skill as soon as anybody gets frozen. So really great to bring in because the Ice Golem puts out freeze debuffs, and that's pretty much what knocks off your team because he revives his sidekicks minions, puts out the freeze, and it pretty much locks you down. So let's get into builds. What do you need to conquer Ice Golem? Well, there's two things you're gonna need. One is a really tanky support champ with really good resistance. Let me actually just have a look here what the resistance requirements are, or not the resistance requirements, but the requirements in general for the Ice Golem. Give me a second. For stage 20, especially. I think it's this raid stages. Yeah, dungeons. I want to go Ice Golem's Peak, normal, stage 20. Right, stage 20 of Ice Golem's Peak. So the boss and his minions have around 200 accuracy. Right, so you want to build yourself out with 305 or higher resistance to avoid being frozen, avoid the terrifying, what's that debuff called again? Heal reduction debuff. And I think it's decreased defense from the other minion. So those two debuffs, just hate them, avoid them at all costs, as well as the freeze. So if you look at my Sylvia, she's built up with 317. If we go to Ice Golem, she gets bonus what? Speed, crit damage, and ignore defense. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So you pretty much want over 305 resistance. So she's got 317. I've got a secondary soul over here. This one's at 318, right? So build them out with very high resistance, and that will kind of help you to ignore any debuffs that come in, right? So that's your support champ taken care of. Next, you need someone who is gonna either put up poisons or put up HP burns, right? So everyone's happy-go-lucky favorite free champ Ninja does that on his A2. You know, he places the HP burn. Really strong, really good. Just be careful with spamming the boss, because if you spam the boss with, let's say, a reset and you spam him again with this hit and he AoEs twice in a row, chances are you're gonna lose champs way too quickly. And if your builds aren't strong enough, your support too will go down way too quickly. Phoenix, really good. You're gonna need him for this A1 skill. Actually need to fully book him out, I think, just extra damage. But this um block re block revive is incredibly necessary, because if the boss's minions are up, he gets ignore defense against you with his attacks. If his minions are dead, that goes away. So he's incredibly important for that, right? So that's one team comp. So you need good attacker, a good support champ, block revive champ, and then the other two spots you fill with another support. I use Nell in this case. You could use someone like Hotatsu. Hotatsu is good because he brings decreased attack and he brings some heals and defense. So he's really good for that. You can bring somebody like Dark Alhain, as I said, to offset the freezes and continuously do damage, and she applies decreased speed on this attack, which is really good. So that's team one, comp one, right? Composition two for dealing with Ice Golem is going to be poison and HP burn, right? So free champ that's really good for this, Drakestar. So Drakestar can solo quite a few dungeons. He can do Spider, and he can do this Ice Golem dungeon for you. You can also do some Doom Tower bosses, but that's not for right now. But for to be able to do this, you need a Regen set and an Immortal set. The rest doesn't really matter. As you can see, it's not even booked out at all. Didn't really need that because this is the skill that matters. So it's a 55% chance on whenever he gets hit, right? But he also has a 30% chance on a triple hitter to place HP burn, right? Healed by 20% of the damage inflicted if the target is under HP burn. So he also does some healing if the target already has HP burn, right? So important resistance. I just meet the resistance cap, which is 305, but he gets a bonus from this. Increases his resistance by 10 for every enemy under HP burn. Stacks up to 50. You get the boss and his two minions, that's extra 30. So he goes up to 337 resistance, right? So just HP burn everybody, plant him next to a Syl, just in case, because Syl's passive brings this wonderful heal, right? And you have HP burn and heal. And she can also keep the minions stunned, right? If needed, Drakestar will use this to provoke them. But you really need someone to CC and stun them or fear them. So for this, I really, because I have two Syls, I like to go Drakestar double Syl, because I have double the chance to play stuns, right? So you could do that, or you could include someone like V6. You can bring a provoke, pretty much target all the hits onto her. She also brings this decreased speed and added protection, so keep everyone alive. So you could go Drakestar, Syl, V6, and that alone will be enough to kind of run you through the dungeon pretty relatively easy. And all three of these are free champs, by the way. You don't have to do much to earn them. They are free. Just log in every day, and you will get them. Oh, that's what I forgot. That's why I'm missing so many champs. Right, there we go. The next champ that's pretty good for this, you can use, Mordecai brings. I need to change this Incinerate because it only works for Arena and Siege. Anyway, he brings this HP burn, which is 100% chance of landing for 2 turns, and it gives increased attack to everyone else. Then he also has this, which is a turn meter decrease, and he has the skill which also has a chance of decreasing turn meter, right? So turn meter control as well as HP burns. Mordecai, really good, but take into account that he is force, so you don't want to bring him into stage 20 because 20 is spirit, so he will be getting absolutely smacked by the boss. Drakestar's a little bit different, especially for my build, because he's a lot tankier. He's got regen and immortal, so he's most likely to last is at 3.3k defense, which is it's not my best build. Got a tanky build for him, which is closer to 4k and 74k, but it's not in regen or immortal. So there you really need the souls to keep him alive. And then we get on to the next way, which is poisons. So there is Kale, who has this A3 which applies poisons. It's not bad. It's not great either. His A1 also has a chance to apply poisons. Again, not bad, not great. Venom Mage is a champ that can do well for you in this dungeon. You just need to apply some really good builds to him. Use some really good sets. This A3 of his is what really makes him good, because it places the heal reduction and poisons. Now, heal reduction with his passive means that the enemies will inflict 15% less damage onto your team. Amazing, amazing stuff. He also brings decreased defense, decreased attack on his A2. So yeah, and his A1 destroys max HP. Not really important, but usable. My Celiac Priest on, he's a dungeon solo champ. He really does well soloing dungeons. It's the A3. A3 is an AoE, places poison sensitivity, and heals him for each poison placed, right? And then his passive is whenever poison is activated, increases his HP and defense by 5%, and it stacks up to 25%. So just build him with good HP and defense. Mine isn't great. Good HP defense, and he should be okay. You'd need to build, I think, around 200 speed, close to 200. Mine's at 190. Do need to redo this build a little bit, but it's the second best regen gear that I have. I haven't lifted up at all, as you can see, so there's a lot of room for his build to grow, obviously. He's not even 6-star, but yeah, either way, he can also do a good job at soloing this. Fane will hit too hard. She does the poison and decrease attack on an A2, sorry, but her damage will be a little bit too high for this, so you wouldn't necessarily want to use her. She can do it, right? But yeah, as I said 4.1, she's just gonna hit a bit too hard. Now the nice thing when using poison and HP burns is that the boss doesn't counter attack. So let's see, we are going to run, oh there we go, stage 20. I was already in there. Alright, we're gonna run stage 20 with, let's do the Dregstar team, right? Okay, let's do it this way. I don't think most people have a double soul like I do. There's one more champ we're going to talk about, but we're going to just have a little showcase with Dregstar for now. So yeah, this alone should be enough to solo this dungeon. I'm just going to put in some champs I need for leveling. Those two, yeah, they're just here to get levels. I need them for faction wars. Okay, I'm not going to super rate this because we don't have tons of energy, but let's go. It's going to be a slow run. I gotta warn you, as you can see, the stuns go out. Visix helps with damage. Yeah. There you go, HP burn. Alright, I'm not going to bore you guys and let you watch us clear the waves. I'll bring you back once we get to the ice column. Alright guys, I promise to bring you back as soon as we get here. We are here. My soul does have smite on, so that might trigger the boss. If you want to, you can use the smite. It'll actually make the run faster, but yeah. Yeah, we made it here. Everybody's still alive. That's due to Dregstar's provokes just soaking up everything, as well as Visix using an ally protect. So yeah, as you can see, it's 114 turns in. It does take quite a bit of time for this to run. So yeah, The way this is gonna go is pretty much V6 keeps the turn meters down and the provokes up. And yeah, pretty much Drexstar just keeps the burns on. So you would like to potentially kill one of them off. If there was better AI control for this game, I would essentially say, Drexstar, you go and target all of them, right? Whereas V6, you target the enemy with the highest turn meter. Oh, my Drexstar also has smite on, by the way. Oh, by the way, he is burning. Just, it doesn't look like it here, but you can see these little flames. Yeah. So there we go. We triggered his skill, and then he does that one, but that's fine. The tanky Drexstar just goes through it. Yeah, we're resisting the heal reduction there, so perfect. Yeah, so as you can see, it does take a little bit long, and that's purely because Drexstar's burns don't get applied AoE, you know. Okay, but I'll bring you guys back as soon as the boss is almost dead, and then we'll run through the next easy way of taking him down. Alright guys, the fight's pretty much done. As you can see, yeah, GG. So yeah, Drexstar 1.9, Soul 1.6, V6 1.1. All of these are crit capped. No, Drexstar's not crit capped. Soul and V6 are crit capped, by the way. So you can see there, 102, 125. So she's crit capped, as well as V6, I think. One or two, yeah. So they do deal a little bit of damage. V6 is not done, but the rest are. Alright. Oh, just give me a second. Oh, he is partially kitted out, I shall say. Yeah, it's missing some gear, but it's fine. It should work. So, stage 20. We'll just pop one. Alright. So, over here, you want to do that. Leave out V6, maybe? No. And then Food Champ. Tomb Lord. You don't see him quite often in videos, but he's a very underrated champ, and I'll tell you why. He's A1, triple hitter, useful for Fire Knight, places decreased defense, useful for decreased speed, useful for Fire Knight normal, useful for every other dungeon on normal, by the way. Hard mode, there's no decreased defense, unfortunately. Decreased speed. Anyway, places decreased speed. Great. A2, right? Single target hit, places 2 poison debuffs on all enemies. If it's critical, places 4 debuffs on all enemies. A lot of poisons going out. A3 decreases the turn meter of all enemies with less than 50% HP by 100% and has a chance of placing decreased attack on all enemies. Also has a chance of placing decreased defense on all enemies. Gets an extra turn if an enemy's turn meter is decreased by the skill. So yeah, he can be really, really OP if used correctly. We're pairing him up with my Select Priest, so we kind of like compounding poisons here, right? And Syl is pretty much just here to continuously heal us and keep us alive. Is my Select Priest fully geared up? Yes, he is. Alright. So, we did switch up gear a little bit in the free gear removal event that came, I think it was a week or two ago. So I don't know if this team is going to be perfect. The Tomb Lord gear is actually on Drexstar right now, and then we just put him in some other region gear that we had lying around. So let's just hope this works out the way we want it to. Let's have a test run quickly. Again, not gonna bore you guys. We should be able to get through the waves pretty easily. So I'll just bring you guys back as soon as that's done. Yeah, as you can see, this is poison galore over here. So yeah, bring you guys back as soon as we make it. Cheers. Alright, so as you can see, we've made it to the boss. Still stage 20, 82 turns, right? This is just my Select Priest and Tomb Lord, pretty much just running through it with poisons. I'm gonna let them auto run through the boss. I'll bring you guys back once I've got his HP down to just about ready to die. I'll see you guys soon. Oh jeez. I was a bit slow over there to bring you guys back, but that took 5 minutes 20 seconds, 160 turns, so it was a lot quicker than the Drexstar run, obviously. And these guys, Tomb Lord and my Select Priest, aren't even correctly built. So yeah, you can see how strong poisons are, especially in this dungeon. I'm going to show you why I say they aren't correctly built. Look at his resistance, 207. He's sorely lacking resistance. He's not quick, he's not tanky, he's only got like half regen, half healing, so he's only got regen set. I've come down to my Select Priest on, same thing, no resistance, 190 speed, it's not tanky, also only has a regen set on. So yeah, they're not built exceptionally well, but all they have is the regen and Syl, and that's pretty much all they need to just keep going. Because Syl stands, Syl heals, and all they have to do is throw out poisons. I mean, we haven't even booked him out fully, I don't think. Haven't booked him out at all. I mean, this could be dropped down to 3 turn with 100% chance. This can be dropped down to a 4 turn with 100% chance. So yeah, Tomb Lord has a lot of potential, I would think, along with my Select Priest for Dragon Dungeon, for Ice Golem Dungeon. On not really for Fire Knight, but more Tomb Lord for this A1. And his A3, yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of potential for that. So those are the 2 teams I would recommend. I'd more recommend poisons going into Fire Knight than anything. I mean, Ice Golem, sorry. When you get up to stage 25, it's magic. I don't know if I haven't. Oh, here's my Ice Golem team. So this is the team I use. I got poisons with Tomb Lord, fire or HP burn, sorry, with Drexstar, decrease defense and weaken with Nell, as well as turn meter control, and Cora for revives and shielding to keep us alive. Also removes any debuffs. Still for healing and revives as well. Also brings the stuns. And Cora is actually not built out resistance wise either, as you can see, 95. But what she does do is bring this cleanse. Her passive is what's great. she will take those CCs from the ally with the highest crit damage, and it'll rather be her that gets CC'd. And in this setup, I think it's actually still, well, is it actually Nell that has the highest crit damage? Let me just double check. No, she's at 102. So Sol is actually at 125. Drakestar's not crit. Nah. Neither is Tomb Lord. Nah. Yeah, so she takes all the debuffs off of Sol. So that kind of frees Sol up in case anybody needs a revive as well. Yeah, so this is the team I go in with. Also usable against, I suppose, all affinities. Because you have someone to deal with magic, you have someone to deal with spirit, you have someone to deal with force. So, yeah, if it's spirit or force, they're fine. If it's magic, they're fine. So, yeah, pretty good team, I would say. If you have Drakestar and Sol ready, make sure to build them out. Make sure to get high resistance. Make sure to get some really good regen and immortal gear on them. If you're lucky enough to have my Celiac Priest, put him in the same kind of build that I have for Drakestar. High resistance, high HP, high defense, and just let him throw out poisons. Make sure you reach the accuracy cap as well, though. For stage 20, you need at least 225 accuracy. If you're farming stage 25, you're gonna need, okay, the accuracy stays the same, the resistance stays the same in stage 25. So 305 resistance, 225 accuracy. They'll just get a lot tankier. So yeah, just make sure you're meeting those stat requirements. And the way to get a regen gear, you guessed it, Fire Knight. When that tournament comes around, I'll drop another video explaining how to get all the way to stage 25 and higher, and the best champs you can use, free champs, epic champs, to farm those. Maybe these champs are more available to you than you thought, you know. But that will be it for Ice Golem, guys. Just remember, there's 3 methods. You can either use HP burns and poisons. That way you pretty much don't ever trigger Frigid Vengeance, which means you never have to worry about the ads coming back. Option 2, which I suppose you'll use when you're still very early. No, I lie, you'll use when you get late into the game, sorry. When you pick up a champ like Lydia, is to use someone like Phoenix and throw out this block revive. If you don't have him, just give me a second, there is a champ I need to find. If you don't have Phoenix, this guy is a free uncommon champ. You can probably find this guy in your store and pull him from mystery shards. The reason he's great for almost every dungeon except Fire Knight, right? Like, yeah, Spider. Oh, he's actually good in Fire Knight as well because of his A1, but it's tricky to be able to use it, but it could be good. So Fire Knight, Ice Golem, and Spider. This is a 30% 10-meter decrease, A1, and this is a block revive, A2, and it's based on enemy max HP. So his A2 hits really hard. As you can see, I'm kind of still building mine out, but yeah, you want a real OP champ in your squad. 60 this Armiger, fully book this Armiger. Fully booking him, all you need to do is, and this is a 2-turn cooldown by the way on his block revive, to fully book him, just buy more of his copies from the store and throw them into him. It's easy enough. But yeah, he's a really good champ to consider building out for these kind of things. He will actually push your dungeon runs to the next level without you even knowing about it. So yeah, those are my recommendations, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you think I missed out on any free champs that could be usable. Those are just the ones I have, the ones I have access to, the ones I thought I should share. So yeah, there's a lot of good champs that can be used, but those are just the champs I personally have and think will give you the edge when you need it. Until then, I've been Numbers with Raid Shadow Legends. This has been Ice Golem Walkthrough. Take it easy. Have a great day.